In 2013, Cheshire sub-postmaster Martin Griffiths threw himself in front of a bus after he was forced to pay back £100,000 of phantom losses to the post office. Mr. Griffiths was one of 4 suspected suicides linked to the Horizon post office scandal and among hundreds of victims wrongly accused in one of the biggest corporate miscarriages of justice in British history. The tragic saga was played out in ITV's Mr. Bates vs. the Post Office and has now finally hit the top of the political agenda. But what has this all got to do with Brexit? Well, the real big picture story here is that this was once again an example of the establishment circling in to protect and reward itself while dumping from a great height on the little ordinary people, aka the decent hard-working folk who keep this country ticking over. This is one of the main reasons why millions of Brits, some of whom had never voted before, rose up and voted Leave in 2016 to leave another pan-European, rigged establishment club. At the heart of the questions needing to be answered now is not coincidentally a very prominent Remainer. The spotlight is on Lib Dem leader Sir, note the knighthood, Ed Davey and his refusal to act to prevent this gross misjustice when he was Minister for the Post Office in 2012. In the general election this year we will be told by the Lib Dems that Davey is a man worthy of being Prime Minister or at least perhaps being a coalition partner in a government holding high office. Yet we now know for certainty what sort of minister Davey would make. And it is not the sort of minister who would take on the vested interests, rather he is the sort of man who is paid for by the vested interests. In refusing to even meet victims a year before Griffiths' suicide and, perhaps unwittingly through inaction and a failure to investigate, in effect green-lighted the cover-up of the Horizon failings and continued miscarriage of justice against hundreds of sub-postmasters.